All right. Some of you would like us to talk about the Biden Acuity story daily, and some of you would like us to never talk about it again. Let's talk about it briefly, okay? Politico has a big story about how Democrats, including some 2028 people, are handling it. Governor Shapiro leaning harder than almost anybody but Ro Khanna into saying, Biden had problems and we didn't do anything. But then there's the receipts. He in real time was defending. The other thing is the press continues to write stories like that Politico story, which I'm going to read a quote from in a moment. They write stories saying about the Democrats and their cover-up and their denial that could apply to the media themselves. It's just the irony is ridiculous. So let's put that up. Put up my tweet from this morning. This is the paragraph from Politico that caught my eye. And again, this is the Politico writing about the Democrats. On some basic level, this is about credibility and authenticity. Biden's decline while in office was apparent to most voters. The public was upfront from very early on in the cycle with their doubts about his age and acuity. And so the ability to acknowledge what is plain in most voters' eyes risks becoming a basic test of candor and honesty. True about the Democrats, Larry, but also true about the press, correct?
It is. And I mean, listen, I think the press, frankly, is the bigger scandal here. And that's where we need the biggest correction because we need a free press in this country that doesn't fall for and then the whole case that they've been making for themselves and how Trump is an existential threat to free press and the First Amendment is that they need to be there to hold a White House accountable. And obviously, I mean, you can finish the sentence yourself. But if I can real fast about these Democrats, I think this actually directly relates to the reconciliation process that we're going through right now, because the Democrats, every single one of them that dodged questions this week about Biden, they all said the same thing. We're not looking backwards. We want to look forward because the Republicans are cutting Medicaid. Well, Republicans are saying that's a lie. So the American people have to trust somebody here. Who do you believe, the Democrats or Republicans? As long as the Democrats continue to hang on to this lie, the biggest lie, the great lie about Biden's competence, there's no reason to believe them about Medicaid either. And I think that that's going to play into this the reconciliation conversation.
Totally agree with you. And Eric Erickson was on 2A Tonight last night, and he wrote this in his newsletter today. And some people are going to recoil at this. So don't recoil and don't attack Eric. Just if you disagree, listen, hear him out. Eric thinks that the cover-up of the Biden Acuity scandal by the Democrats is worse than January 6th. And he makes a principled argument for that. Go read it. Go read it. But again, if you're a Democrat, that recognize that's the mindset of some thoughtful, at least some thoughtful conservatives. And you should think about it. Don't have to agree with it. Dan.
I actually think it's a pretty good analogy. I mean, both were, I'm not sure one's worse, but I think they may be equal. Both were just based on outright.
Eric's point is one happened for one day.
Well,
and involved a limited number of people, and the other happened for 4 years and endangered America's security.
Right.
And everybody lied about it except for one congressman from Minnesota.
Well, I haven't read it. I disagree with some of that, but both were lies. And I think that and I've said this now for a while. I've actually thought for 2028ers, this is going to be something you're going to get dogged by. I think it's something that Schumer and Jeffries and everyone, I think even if you are a new candidate running for office, you're going to get asked about this. Like, it's just, it's too easy to do it. And I think that Ed Marcus, as you said, the media is not doing themselves any favors by just having absolutely no accountability and self-reflection on their own. And then I know I see it in the chat, I see it on X and everywhere, like Democrats pulling their hair out about why people won't listen to what they're saying. Well, you just have to look in the mirror. Like half the country.
And if you're somebody like Shapiro or Ro Khanna, and you want to put yourself forward as someone who's now telling the truth, you've got to address the previous statements you made. You've got to.
That was a delicious video experience. I think you'll agree. Now, what you need to do in return for getting to enjoy that is hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss a thing.